What's up, everybody? Welcome to my live stream. Thank you for showing up on a Friday night. I appreciate it. I felt like I'd do something a little bit different with this video. What's up, everybody in the chat? I see you. I appreciate you hanging out with me on a Friday night. I could have just made this a standalone episode on my channel, and it probably would have done a lot better view-wise because it's more to the point. But I didn't really want to do a full-ass video on the newest AVGN episode. He's done in one more this year on the Goonies parts 1 and 2, or the first video game, but it was so just nondescript and nothing really to say about it, so I was like, I'm not gonna do a video. I'm not even gonna mention this, whatever. So then I was alerted to this episode, which I watched, and I was like, wow, this is this is some of James's worst acting at its best. Worst acting at its best. Someone in my community tabs on YouTube had said, the slobs were totally involved in the selection of this game, because James would have never picked a game like this, and that's true. He wouldn't have. James Rolfe would have never picked a modern cell phone game to play or to use as an idea. If James, honestly, I think James has burned through all the games that he would ever want to talk about. So anything going forward is going to be a suggestion from either the Slobs or from Mike Matei, which we all now know is very much still helping and working on the sidelines or whatever. But actually, no, this was not a slob video suggestion. This was actually Mike Matei. James and Mike had played this game 6 years ago for their James and Mike Mondays. So here is Mike Matei introing the idea for the Horse Prince.
All right, so we're going to be playing My Horse Prince. This is a game that I had heard about. I was at PAX last year or something, and somebody told me about this game. They're like, oh, have you played My Horse Prince? And I'm like, what's My Horse Prince? And then it's like, oh, it's an app on your phone. And so I downloaded it thinking it's gonna be this fun game or whatever. I start playing and I'm like, what am I playing right now? What have you done to me?
I've never seen it yet, so this is my chance.
Well, we're always looking for bad games.
Yeah.
So this is a bad game.
Okay.
So here you go. Okay. I'm not even
right.
You just play it.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so as you can see right there, somebody, I'm guessing a fan, told Mike about this game's existence at PAX or whatever, and so Mike brought his wares to Mike and James and Mike Mondays to play this game. And I could kind of see as they started playing the game or whatever, kind of what the charm was of James and Mike Mondays after watching this, because their reactions are so organic, and that is what the nerd is lacking so much these days, is an authenticity and organic reactions to the things that happen in his nerd videos. So I went ahead and checked out the episode, and of course we open with the little intro here. I mean, the intro is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever found yourself
and
endlessly
ExpressVPN.
searching your streaming
My
apps for
God,
something to watch
this
and finding
fucking
nothing that catches your eye?
advertisement
I know I have.
destroys any kind of connection that I have with the nerd character, because it's what the fuck, dude? And it's a solid 45-second advertisement right before, and James is being all nice and affable and friendly, and all that, and then we have to like suspend our disbelief for this advertisement, while he very next scene is doing his whole nerd character thing, and it's so fucking distracting, and it like kills any momentum that the character could have, you know, in this modern day time that so badly needs. And let me just pause this for a second, because you know, James's whole thing about like, oh, all you have to do is turn on ExpressVPN and set your location to Australia. Now I can see Gremlins 2 finally, because it's region blocked in the United States. Yeah, well, you know what? That's actually bullshit now. Netflix has figured out that that's like a major selling point for, you know, not only AVGN, that's like his main selling point as to why you should get the app. I guess because he's a movie guy or whatever. But so many people have advertised ExpressVPN in this way that it's. Am I quiet? Am I too quiet? All right, I don't know. If anyone else says I'm quiet, let me know. But anyway, like, so many people have advertised ExpressVPN in this way that Netflix has like gotten. I'm reading my decibel meter right now. It's telling me my volume is fine. Turn your volume up, dude. You just got me off track. So anyway, Netflix has found a workaround on this one. I use ExpressVPN because every now and then I need to, like, you know, obtain some things in a way that may not be smiled upon by the government. So I usually have ExpressVPN on, and I've noticed the last few times I've gone to use Netflix, the page just won't load. It won't load whatsoever. Like and only when I turn my ExpressVPN off does it let my Netflix load. So it, you know, and this episode just came out pretty recently, so he needs to like cut it out with the whole you know, ExpressVPN, man, put yourself in Australia, and now you can watch all these old shitty movies. It's not true anymore. HBO Max is still fine with it, I've noticed. I haven't tried any of the other services, but Netflix has definitely gotten wise to that whole ExpressVPN thing, so yeah, that's no longer a thing. Okay, we got a super chat here for $20. Thanks you for Lurks Venture. The Goonies never say die, but AVGN should have said that to the series long ago, just when it seemed like he was getting back on horse, of course. But for real, what the fuck was that episode? Well, we're gonna get to what the fuck this episode was. Lurks. You got the little umlaut over your name, so I'm assuming that's some kind of Germanic thing. Okay, now I'm trying to make the super chat go away, but it's not. All right, well, whatever. There we go. So yeah. Honestly, guys, the first thing I noticed about this episode was the fucking thumbnail. Okay, what the fuck are we looking at, dude? James looks like a serial killer who like got caught, and like that's like his mugshot or something, or that's him right before he got handcuffed and taken to jail. The overexposure from just like a filming perspective on this episode is fucking stupid. Like, I have inconsistent exposures in my videos all the time. Exposure just means bright, how bright something is. This live stream is a little overexposed, but that's because it's live and there's nothing I can't curate the lighting like I can on my edited videos. But I'm not a filmmaker. I don't claim that every single one of my episodes are little films like James does. As we all know, James has made over 400 films, if you count his Snicks flicks and his all of his AVGN episodes, and then of course the movie. But I mean, Jesus Christ, shit's so overexposed. Like, my old cellular telephone, it's a little bit, I don't know. So is it the fucking weird new quilt on his futon? I think that's like reflecting. It's brighter, way brighter than his old quilt, and it's like reflecting a lot more light than, I guess, his dark quilt. But I mean, even still though, this fucking, it still looks like, you can see on the wood paneling in the back, you can see that reflection just right by his balding head, which, good lord, that hair is just parting like the Arctic shelf, man. That thing is like, how much how much more hair until that little Cumberland Gap there at the very top finally dissolves. But yeah, you can see just the fucking light, the harsh light beating down on him in this whole episode when he's couched, that is. Now, the whole like thing with this episode is the nerd gets to walk around. He's finally unfettered from the couch and all the reorganizing of all the cameras, because ostensibly this thing looks like it was filmed on a cell phone camera, I'm assuming. So now the nerd is free to walk around, and isn't that going to revive the life back into his channel? No, sadly, this is one of the worst episodes he's done in a while. But yeah, like, dude, little kids have blanket. I had a blanket. No, I didn't have a blanket like that. I wasn't cool enough. But like little kids, these are like the blankets that you see when your aunt is clearing out her shed. They're about to move or something, and your aunt's clearing out her shed, and she's like, oh, here's this blanket that you used when you were 6 years old. Did you still want it? It's got mold on it and shit. And I'm like, no, just throw it away. But James is like, not only do I want this blanket, I'm going to like resurface my futon with it. And just the scene now is like the dark cover that he had on his couch before. It kind of was a nice solid neutral color to offset all this other shit going on around his head. But yeah, just that was like the first thing I noticed was just how overexposed this fucking episode, and even like the thumbnail is even more overexposed than I feel like the in-video stuff there. Lurks gave me another 5 schmagulligans here. Super chat. Half the time he just looks like my dad trying to FaceTime someone, even though I've told my dad he's not funny and to stop. Yes, that's exactly how this episode plays out. I've done my homework here. I have a bunch of different clips to show you guys. This is not going to be like one of my normal streams. It's going to be a supercharged live stream since it's a Friday. And honestly, I didn't have shit else better to do today. So yeah. I'm going to perpetually be going more and more vertical as I sit in this chair. So I'm going to be tilting the camera down more and more so you can eventually see my privates. Yep, it's live, and I just said that, so can't take that back. Okay, so in this Horse Prince game, it's this shitty mobile game, and you've already seen like kind of some of the footage for it or whatever. I'm assuming most of you have seen the episode by now, but it's this, it's like this anime girl. It looks like this cheap, like, Flash animation. And, you have to, like, she feeds this horse some carrots or whatever, and the horse ends up having this, like, anime guy's head. And, it's very Japanese. It's very Asian-oriented, but probably retranslated for a U.S. audience with the subtitles and all that, but very Japanese. Like, this is a game that would go completely unrecognized in Japan. They would look at it once and they'd be like, yep, that's about what our games look like. But in the West, of course, like, why does this horse body have this weird anime head? And so, this in and of itself should be, in James's mind at this point, enough to vamp off of for an entire episode. And so he does. But before that, keep in mind, James and Mike Monday had introduced this horse, and this is the James and Mike Monday horse head reaction. When James first sees this human head on this horse, this is the James and Mike Monday reaction.
Oh, it's over. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
Wow. All right. Wow, all right.
Oh my god, he's really hot.
Her face, though, is kind of...
like I'm doing like Dorothy's voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so 6 years ago, when they're playing this game, James's reaction when he saw the human head on the horse, where he goes, oh, wow. And that's the exact reaction you would expect from a middle-aged guy playing a stupid game that's meant for kids. Oh, wow, this doesn't appeal to me. This isn't for me. I'm not interested in this. Like, whatever. Now, flash forward to, a few days ago? What is the angry video game nerd's reaction to the horse?
There's no hot guys here, but instead, appearing in a majestic ray of light is... Holy Mother of God! The horse's name is Yuma.
Holy Mother of God! It's like, dude, you already know what was coming, and your reaction 6 years ago was normal. It was, oh wow. Now it's Holy Mother of God! It's like he's just playing up the character so fucking hard. And it's like even more like awkward that like the footage of, you can go and look it up right now on YouTube, the footage of James and Mike Monday of them playing that game is still up there, and you can see James's natural response. And you know, anyway, so now we get to the whole like kind of concept of the video is James is you know, he's in portrait mode now, right? He's on a cell phone, so it's, you know, it's like this, you know, it's cutting off the sides, it's as you would hold a phone. So he's playing into this by adding all of his you know, what kind of tricks can we use utilizing this new aspect ratio, and then we get the most boomerist of humor.
Man, if only we weren't in vertical format, you could see what I'm doing with my hand right now. But it involves all digits down and one digit up.
Like, that's so forced and been done a million times. Oh, what's on the outside of the frame? It's like he's got just flicking you off with his dad face, and it's just like, man, haven't heard that shtick a million times. James getting mad and flipping something off. He's only been doing it for 15 years now. What an original idea. But it's on a cell phone now instead of, you know, an actual camera. So, you know, I guess that makes it different in some way. So, yeah, he's like texting. Bugs Bunny texts him or whatever. He's texting him back. Played out jokes like trying to type fuck, but it autocorrects to duck or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's again, that's an old premise. People were pointing that out like 10 years ago, how annoying it is when phones autocorrect fuck to duck, and he's just now getting to that joke. So man, boy, is there some overacting in this episode that I'm entertained to show you, I guess. Here's a little bit of some of the first bit of overacting.
First of all, could you lower that hoof and calm down a little? I would have died if he was an inch closer. Oh my God. The horse's hoof almost went right through her fucking skull.
Yeah, like, again, James reminds me these days of, like, he reminds me of, like, Anthony Cumia, like, when he left Opie and Anthony, the Opie and Anthony show, and he started his, like, Compound Media show, and he'd have guests on, and he would do all those big fake laughs. They said anything that was supposed to be even remotely funny, he'd just be like, what? And then you fucked a trans girl. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Just fake, like back when it was like the original Opie and Anthony, it would be like real laughs because they were saying shit that was really funny. Now Anthony's just like fledgling and trying to it's like that boomer mentality of like, I'm doing a show, I need to be on, so you know, I'm a professional broadcaster, so if I have a guest on and they say something, whether it's funny or not, I need to sell it because that's what I'm here to do. And it's like James is doing the same thing. I don't think James finds any of this shit shocking or amusing, but he knows his character has to be the nerd, so he's overreacting to things in this stupid little cell phone game that really aren't that big of a deal or really not that funny. Don't believe me? You want to see some more Bimmy overacting in this episode? Well, here you go.
Oh my God, he's force-feeding me. Just one more. Cough, cough, cough. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. The horse is shoving the fucking green onions down my fucking throat. I can see an old lady beckoning me toward Oh dear Lord.
What the fuck was all that, dude? Like like in what world did he ever react that extremely to something that was just so not even worth mentioning? Like, I could see mentioning it and be like, oh, the horse is trying to force feed her green onions and she almost died. Well, that's fucking weird. It's so, like, I did a video about something AVGN related a while back where there was a joke. Oh, yeah, it was my top 11 favorite AVGN episodes. There was some video he did on, like, some obscure game for some obscure PC system or something like that. And it was like this, it was like Willie Beamish or something like that. And it was like a multiple choice question. And one of the choices was my pet frog horny. And in that video, which was from like 2010 or something, James is like, my pet frog horny? Huh, whatever. And then he goes to the next thing. And I pointed out in the video that if this had been an AVGN episode in 2023 or 2024, he would have milked the fact that they had named that frog horny in that video. And he would have like cuck-faced for the camera. He would have fake laughed. He would have been like, oh my God, what have I done to deserve to play these shitty games? The frog name is horny. The frog's name is horny. Like, he would have done all of that. And then some. And that's what he does now. He just squeezes bullshit from like these flimsy premises. Like, this video was 20 minutes long. Maybe if he cut it down to like 5 minutes, it could have been halfway decent. But yeah, he got 20 minutes out of it. The same amount of time that the James and Mike Monday video was, by the way. The James and Mike Monday video was about 20 minutes long. How he was able to take a Let's Play those tend to run longer Let's Play videos. How he was able to take a Let's Play video and make a full-fledged nerd video and it be the same length, not cutting anything out. That kind of blows my mind a little bit that he was able to do that. Of course, we get the bestiality joke. You knew with the horse, with the human head, you knew the bestiality joke was coming.
He's hitting that road pretty hard, but that's okay, right? It's not the only thing he's going to be hitting hard.
Yeah, so there's that. She's going to get some pounding or whatever he says. Oh, man. He makes another bestiality joke later on in the game because, like, there's 3 bonus levels. I didn't actually beat the game. So we have to sit through, like, 5 or 6 more minutes of this fucking stupid game. And she's, like, laying in bed with the horse, and she says something to the extent of, what am I laying on? Are those his back legs? And after she makes this comment, are those his back legs? Basically insinuating that, like, am I laying on his huge horse cock? James finishes strong, man, with the overacting of the century. So here's my final clip of James's insanity-laced overacting.
I can't believe this is real. How how did this game ever get made? Oh, I need a beer after that. Ha! Ha! Hey, nerd.
Yeah, and then he goes into his whole, like, the thing that he does now where, like, the character will come out of the game and he'll be in the nerd room and James has to do something to make the character go away. He's been doing that since the early days, but he's just gotten less and less effort with it these days. Like, in that shot, it kind of shows the shadow of the horse head on James's face. They should have also showed the shadow of the horse's cock as well. That would have been funny, to me at least. But, James just like throws his bottle into the fire or whatever. I want to go back to that clip real quick for like a few reasons that are just kind of petty on my end. But let's see here. Pull that audio down a bit. Yeah, so he's doing his whole, you know, whatever shtick. Fuck. Yeah.
I can't believe this is...
Dude, I can't get over that fucking new look at that dude, anytime you like pause on James's face nowadays, it's so like every image is disturbing. Like that is terrifying to me. He just looks scary now, dude. I'm not trying to be mean, bro, but like look at Mike Matei these days. He looks pretty much the same. I mean, he's got darker circles around his eyes, but that's about it. But James looks like an old pervert in this this still here. But that quilt, dude, it looks so fucking bad. Like, it's so distracting. But anyway, so he's going through his whole thing here. He's like, I need a beer. He reaches for the Rolling Rock, which he has not done in quite a while, but I guess because it has a horse head on it. It's part of AVGN lore. And again, we see here... that is 100% water. I mean, as someone who's like a functioning alcoholic, I take offense to this. At least crack open one real beer and drink it. I mean, there'd be carbonation all around the top of that, the liquid there, but clearly he's just drinking water. He probably doesn't even drink anymore, which good for him. You should never drink to begin with, ladies and gentlemen. It's bad for you. I'm already in the throes of it, so it's too late for me. But anyway, yeah, no real liquid in, no real beer in there at least. And then like, which is weird for like James's continuity that he's so obsessed with. He throws the bottle and there's no liquid, or to my knowledge, there's not, unless there's like a little bit there. But it looks just like debris from the breakaway glass there or whatever. And then he just like throws his phone into the fire or whatever, which I don't show that because I couldn't be bothered to do so. But yeah, this episode was rough. I pretty much showed you like the main points as to like why it was so bad. Really bad overacting. Just way over exaggerated, like freak out over a game that again him and Mike played 6 years ago that he was just very underwhelmed by, as anybody should be. There's nothing special about it. It's just like, all right, whatever. It's a shitty mobile game, so what? Like, what's the angle? It's a shovelware shitty mobile game on top of that. I mean, there are literally billions of those out there. But yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about that quilt, man? I'm obsessed with it. I haven't been able to read like any of these fucking comments, by the way, unfortunately. I'm normally more on top of that. And Jesus Christ, there's a lot of them. I guess I can... Fuck it, I'm going to start from the bottom? I don't know. I feel overwhelmed with the comment situation here. Alright, I'm just going to rapid fire from the top. What's up? Care strings. Is it wrong to say that Nostalgia Critic is somehow better than New AVGN? I could see someone making the argument that Nostalgia Critic is better than the New AVGN. I would say Nostalgia Critic's movies do a lot of the heavy lifting for him. They give him a lot of material to work with, unlike James, where a lot of times he's having to pull a lot from a game that sucks but may not suck bad enough to make a full episode out of. The reason why I feel like this video was 20 minutes long was because he has a certain length that he has to meet to make his advertisers happy. So he had to squeeze blood from that stone. Let me see here. The Russian Phase Bear. I only watched the Horse Prince episode because I wanted to be well read for this stream. Oh, very nice. Good for you, man, doing your homework. Let me see here. I swear James's ads last 2 fucking minutes. It certainly feels that way. I timed it, and it's like 45 seconds, but God, it feels so long. Okay, moving on. Phil Lamar, I watched all your music videos this morning. Very cool, and the tour stuff. I really liked it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, so I did my little, at the beginning of the stream, I did a little advertisement for my band. I realized I need to promote my band on here more because, like, that's one of the reasons I do this whole channel is to promote my band, Dancing with Ghosts. So make sure you, like, check us out on streaming. Even if you hate it, if you give us a stream and give it a chance, it would mean a lot to me. Make sure you guys like this stream so it gets shown to more people. My classic Geo, my question to James for this episode is why this mobile game out of all the bad mobile games he could have picked? Well, it's because Mike Matei showed him the game because someone showed Mike Matei the game, and I guess Mike thought it was so bad that he was going to, you know, they were just going to get a lot of gold out of it. And, you know, I watched the James and Mike Monday one, and it was a fine game for James and Mike Monday. It was not so interesting for an AVGN episode, especially when he just, you know, acted it up so much. I mean, again, I showed you how he reacted on the James and Mike Monday when he sees the half man, half horse. He's like, oh, wow. And it's like, yeah, that's how any adult would react. It's like, this is stupid. This is very Japanese, and this looks like any other fucking shovelware that I've ever seen. Raven Shore, no, I wasn't expecting this stream, but since I have been drinking and this is happening, I will most likely be laughing quite loudly for an hour. Webs. Cheers, everyone. Well, I hope so. I hope my smartass, dry wit brings you some kind of laughter. Pink Pools, what always pissed me off about new James is his shirt isn't even nerd attire anymore. His new shirt makes him look like a 1930s British explorer surveying the jungles of Zambia. Yeah, a lot of people took issue with that shirt when he changed it. I mean, I do too. It's like, what are you, like Slipknot, where you're gonna like update a new mask every year for every album cycle? You're gonna have you're gonna reinvent your look. Like, I mean, Doug Walker never reinvented his look except for when he went bald, but even then, he just still kept wearing that newsboy hat or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the shirt was stupid because then it also revealed his tattoo, which is that really part of the nerd lore? Is that the nerd has a tattoo, you know, a tribal tattoo at that, like shit that people in the 90s thought was super cool, much like people in the 2000s thought lip rings were cool. Well, you know what? They still are, so fuck you. How about that? Let's see, yeah. That blanket is way too busy, not to mention Bet's 95. Yeah, the quilt's just, it's way busy. That solid dark navy thing he had before definitely helped frame the scene better contrast wise. It didn't sexually assault my eyes as bad as this new quilt does. Or I'm sure everyone in the Cinemassacre Truth has already complained about the quilt 10 times over, so I'm probably just saying nothing new. God of Exploding, why is the nerd reviewing shitty mobile games bottom of the barrel? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I thought the Goonies was a pretty bottom of the barrel thing too, but I guess that's James's comfort zone is NES games. Henskelion. I think this game was made by Westerners as a joke parody of anime visual novels. I mean, it is really weird that they had that random like Microsoft Paint looking Mario guy in there that did not imitate the art style of literally anything else in the game. That definitely does seem like something that would be a Western troll. That wouldn't be something that a Japanese developer would have included. Especially with just how like shittily drawn it is compared to all the other characters. Gerard's conscious, a troll, I'm assuming at this point. Avoiding the Keith Elwood drama again. I don't know who the fuck that is, man. You brought that up last time. But I do love your username, though, Gerard's Conscience. Conscience is a hard word for me to say for some reason. Let me see. Retro Game Player, his VPN ad is just a replay intro. It's not new every time. Oh, I didn't realize that, but it doesn't surprise me. Well, he's going to have to fix it because Netflix is... They've gotten wise to that whole... turn on the VPN and say you're in Germany and now you can watch Fecophilia Part 3, because I guess Germans are into that stuff. Es tut mir leid. Es ist nur ein Witz. So what else? SPQR10, it looks like binary something. AVGN's biggest problem is that he got a big head. He thought he was going to be some big Hollywood director. He is what he is, some guy who got pushed into doing something by Mike Matei and resonated. I don't know if he has a big head. I think he just feels obligated. I think he knows he just has to kind of like do this now, and he can't really get out of it. They've got this is literally how he pays his bills. So it's like he's got to do the James and Tony Tuesdays. He's got to do the fucking I think the whatever like movie reviews he does or whatever. I think that's like the only thing he legitimately likes doing. Cinemassacre hasn't released a whole lot of content this year, and it's already like almost into May. He's done 2 episodes, a lot of Tony and James Tuesdays. And I know that's not his name, but that's what I'm calling him. He's Tony from the fucking neighborhood. It wouldn't fucking surprise me if he was James's personal bodyguard. Ryan Benson can't stay long. Just wanted to say, love what you do and keep on doing it. AVGN sprinkled in with good music. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Sue Blanton. I hate to play a little defense, but it's because James Rolfe is a shy, reserved person in real life and interviews on podcasts. He's not like Doug Walker. The nerd and James are much less blurred lines. Okay. Well, he used to be good at it, though, Sue. So, like, what happened? He used to be really fucking good at it. And, yes, I get it. I've seen interviews I did a whole video of him being on the Opie and Anthony show back in, like, 2008 or 2007. And, yeah, he was just as fucking awkward and, yeah. Like, he was just as awkward back then. But then, he does his classic nerd shit, and it's fucking hilarious to this day. Still is. So he used to be good. What the fuck happened? I think that's like the biggest question. I mean, everything goes to shit. I just did a whole video. For those of you who don't know, I do mainly like music-related content on here. I just did singers whose voices went to shit, and I've kind of noticed that anything that's good for like a long period of time eventually goes to shit. It is the exception to the rule when you do something great indefinitely that never goes to shit. So whether it's singers or internet content, whatever it is, it's going to eventually go to shit. I love how Doug used to be the calmer one to Nostalgia Critic's angry rage. Now Doug is excited, and NC got downplayed, and thank God, because getting angry got boring. You mean Doug doesn't do his, wah! What are you talking about? This film sucks! It fucking sucks! What are you talking about? Ah! I'm going crazy! He doesn't do that kind of shit anymore, and with his really high-pitched voice. I haven't seen a Nostalgia Critic video in a really long time. I only watch Nostalgia Critic if he's doing a video on a movie that I've actually seen or I like or whatever. Sue retorts with the Golden Age nerd was James acting like Mike Matei. The new nerd is James acting like the too many cooks of Screenwave. Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that because I think it's been common knowledge at this point that the script writing is farmed out to a bunch of different people now instead of this, what it used to be, which was just James kind of writing all the scripts. And Mike may have helped with the script writing, but it was mainly James doing it. And now it's like people have watched AVGN for so long that like I could go on there and write an AVGN style joke. I mean, I did it all the way back. I did a video a long time ago about the Nintendo Switch back when it was called the Nintendo NX or whatever, and I parodied a bunch of YouTubers. I did Pat the NES Punk. I did James. It's an old video. You'd have to dig back to find it. I forget the exact name of it or whatever. No, I think it was about Mario sequels. No. Anyway, it's somewhere back there. But Josh of like 10 years ago did a AVGN. I had the shirt and everything, and I felt like I wrote a decent AVGN little riff there. It was like a 15 or 20 second bit where I played the nerd or whatever. I even had like a reverse, the effect where you throw the cartridge and then you play the footage in reverse, so it looks like it just swoops into your hand. I did all that stuff, and so yeah, it's easy to watch a few episodes of the nerd and get a sense of like the character and like how to write for it. So yeah, I think Screenwave can handily write a nerd episode without James even being involved, and it will be a watered down version, but they'll still sell their brand deals. So, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. God of Exploding. Nostalgia Critic is still sincere, and sincerely will always trump well made but empty. Okay, that was an incomplete sentence, but you're saying that you like Nostalgia Critic more. Remember all those cringy little like fights that they would get into back in the day? All the videos that were made on those, like, man, those are pretty bad. But at least they were kind of like both in their prime, like in their side content or whatever. But yeah, those I never really watched those when they were like currently on, like they were new. I watched them like way after the fact, because like but yeah, they were still pretty bad. Japanese games be so wacky as 2004 internet humor. Sue, why you gotta be so hateful towards me? You know you love me. You watch my videos, and maybe I love you. I don't know. You don't gotta keep taking hot, smelly dumps on me. I haven't even paid you anything for that, which I assume would be something that I would have to pay for. It's live, baby. I say stupid shit. Drew Malevolence, wasn't he on Opie and Anthony? Was it you that did a cover on? Yes, I covered James being on the O&A show, and this was like O&A back when they were still in their prime. I believe Jimmy Norton was still on the show. And yeah, they were like throwing it to him. They were trying to give him a chance to kick the ball, and James was just like, yeah. And, fucking Opie would be like, so, I remember playing these crappy games in like 2002. I think they're in my grandma's basement now, but they really sucked. What do you think, James? What was your motivation? Yeah, I don't know. And it's just like, he was giving them nothing, man. Guy was not made to be off script. All right. The frog's name is Horny. Yeah, there's that fucking video he did a long time ago. Gerard's Conscience. Who is... You want to tell me who this Keith Elwood guy is or whatever the fuck? It's this guy and this other guy, Greg something or other, talking about when you going to talk about Doug Walker being a sex pest. And you guys don't give me anything to fucking go off of. Like, I've Googled it. I can't find anything about Doug Walker actually doing any sexual impropriety, any sexual impropriety, whatever. We're going to go with that as a sentence. Oh, Chicago, thank God. Give me something to talk about here for a second that isn't James. Abacab was a great record. I agree. He's talking about that album back there. Genesis Abacab, great album, underrated, great drum sound. Drums had some hair to them finally, had some body, some fat synth sounds. Keep It Dark's a great song. Fucking Abacab's a great song. Me and Sarah Jane, very experimental, great song. Man on the Corner. Dodo Lurker, that song, or no, Who Done It? That song can go fuck itself, but I'm sure some people like it. Okay, I'm just now getting to wherever I showed the clips. Fuck. His hairline looks like a chin strap. Yeah, a reverse chin strap. It surely does. Please don't play the rest of this. I will leave the stream. I already have a bad feeling how this is going to continue. Well, I don't know when you said that, Chicago, but yeah, I didn't play. I played probably a combined total of like 5 or 6 minutes of a 20-minute episode, so I don't think that's too bad. Sue, Screenwave is like a meat canyon creature behind the scenes, draining the nerd's essence and physical appearance. I'm surprised Meat Canyon hasn't done it in a bit on AVGN yet. Maybe they're friends or something. I don't know, but that would be really funny. There's a lot to work with there. I think some of Meat Canyon's best stuff is when they're parodying popular IPs. Like their Rugrats run they did was fucking hilarious. The SpongeBob one, obviously. The Ed and Eddie ones were some of their best episodes. But when they're just talking about like pop cultural people who are like, or YouTubers that I don't know about, I find that less interesting. Andrew or Ian McAndrew, appreciate you out here doing this yo man's work. DWG, James has gone too far off deep end. Agreed. So you see how this wouldn't have made it that great of an actual video, like an edited video. This video would have been 6 minutes long, guys. Like I wouldn't have been able to stretch much out of it, and I wouldn't have been able to react and interact with the chat. So there's that. All right. Mike Matei had penis reduction recently. 15 was too big. He wanted to humble himself from being too powerful. Oh yeah, Mike's penis. Which was apparently not his penis. It was just some kind of someone else's penis online. Couldn't you reverse like image search that at this point? And it's probably already been debunked. I don't care. Pine Vinyl in the house. What's up, man? Smoking a bowl and look who's live. Yes. Yeah, man. I can tell you're kind of a stoner. A lot of your cartoons have your characters doing that, which I think is I think that's great. In you know, including your addiction into your show. I would get drunk more and make videos, but it's actually very hard to edit, and it's not so hard to be I've been drunk in front of the camera before when I've done my pre-edited videos. And I've read the lines and all that, and it's perfectly fine. But editing or like live stream, I could probably get drunk on a live stream too, but it's a wee bit early for me to start drinking, although I think I'm about to crack open my first one right now. I brought a cooler this time, so I don't have to walk to the refrigerator. See, I'm thinking now. I'm getting better at live streaming. Oh, shit. Did it just jump to the bottom? Oh, lame. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where'd I go? That's annoying when this does that. I'll be on OBS and I'll be on a roll here, and then it'll just jump all the way to the bottom, and now I got to figure out where I'm at. Last time I remember is Pine Vinyl, and I was talking about his weed. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got all kinds of fucked up here. Okay, here we go. I'm back where I was. Drew Malevolence, ever spill beer on your carpet? Ever spill beer on your carpet? What the fuck kind of random up north accent was that? It sucks, kinda. I think dried beer honestly smells really good in some weird way. I have spilled beer on a carpet before. Aside from like the stickiness, if you can get that up, I kind of like. I grew up. My mom used to clean like this old bar like during the day, and she'd take me. Even as a little kid, I loved bars. I loved how dark they were, even during the day, because they had like blackout shades in this particular bar. And I don't know, there's the big screen TV and like the sound system and the smell of like sour beer. I don't know. I personally always really liked it. God of Exploding, the quilt is man-child central. I know, dude. That is like a quilt I would have had when I was like 3, bro. Like, that is something I would definitely. It's not even like a badass like. They made it like updated for today's times, like they maybe like a, I don't know, like a Breath of the Wild quilt or a more, I don't know, that vintage Mario shit that looks cool in like a kid's room, but like not like a 40-something-year-old man's fake man cave. Let's see here. What do we got? Install sponsor block, bro. I don't know what that is. Is like commercials coming up on my live stream or something? Pine Vinyl asks, when is the Michael Jackson deep dive? Well, I won't be diving deeply into Michael Jackson in any way, but I was going to rate his albums, the whole S tier, D tier thing. Still going to do it, but honestly, those tier ranking videos don't do so good for my my ratings. Like, they used to do decently, but like Gerard, you're funny to me, but your questions get really annoying about why am I covering for Keith. You're like one of those motherfuckers that believed Pizzagate was like a thing that actually happened. Like, he's acting like he doesn't know, but he totally does. Why are you covering up for this guy, man? I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, but I think your username is funny, so you get to stay. Oh, this is my first beer of the night, boys. Tastes like kind of bitter. I really liked your skit. You and your lead singer are great. Oh, thank you. Pine Vinyl is referring to, it's a YouTube short. It's our most recent one. We're promoting our show in Brunswick, Georgia. If you live in the Georgia area and are near Brunswick or know where the fuck that even is, May 11th, the Hinge at the Blue Note, our band will be there. My singer, me, our drummer, our bassist, we'll be playing some covers. We'll be playing some original music, all the crap that you've heard on here. We will be playing all those songs. 45-minute set. Should do it. God of Exploding. It was a fine game for James and Mike Mondays. The most damning criticism of an AVGN episode. Yeah, because like those are the most low effort, catatonic James Rolfe episodes, man. Like, he's just sitting there most of the times. People got mad when I was like, oh, I don't really watch James and Mike Monday, and they're like, dude, that was like one of the best things he did. And so I tried watching some of them, and I'm just like, yeah, Mike's getting all passionate about it, but James is just sitting there like he's like exhausted, and he's like, yeah, so what am I supposed to do here? How does he do that? And Mike has to explain everything to an elderly James. So I didn't like him. The Black Mamba, worst AVGN of all time, and that's saying something. It's one of the worst. I don't know if it's like the worst, but it's definitely one of the worst. Like, his acting is just like he's left the planet at this point. It's like any other like show. Like, Seinfeld started out really like real with their comedy, and then by the like 8th or 9th season, George Costanza is acting like a psychopath. Kramer's gone. He's not just the like neurotic neighbor. Now he's like fucking doing all this like crazy shit, and I don't know. It was still funny, but like it really like, and then like the Trailer Park Boys starts off like super real and like realistic Trailer Park, and then like by like the last few seasons they got all this other crazy shit going on. So I mean, it's just like, I guess you run out of ideas, and then you just, you know, build from there. Immortal Ugly Fish. I recently saw a clip from an early 2000s magazine of baby Tom DeLonge, and the caption said something like, "And his lip ring and his lips that and his lip ring makes his lips that much more kissable." Oh God, that was probably in some like teen Tiger Beat magazine or whatever. Yeah, I got my idea to get my lip pierced from Tom. I for whatever reason I really like Tom, and I always have. So I don't know. I've said this many a times. I can't stand emo music, but I've definitely co-opted their style, which probably pisses off the real elder emos out there who actually like emo music. And then they like look at me and they just assume I do too. And I'm like, nope, I don't. I've heard all of it, and I don't like a single one. I don't, a single song, single band. 90s alternative rock is where it's at for me. And then like late 90s techno and trip hop, Massive Attack, you know, groups like that. And then of course you have 70s prog rock. That's where it's at for me musically. All that emo can go fuck itself. M. Presley, yo, made it for the stream. Seems like James is finally scraping the bottom. Yeah, okay, so we've enjoying the music decisions on your channel lately. Thank you. I've enjoyed doing the music stuff too, for sure. This Keith Elwood guy just will not die in the chat. Darius Truxton. Immortal Ugly Fish said it best. Der Scheiße. I mean, it is shit. These comments about this individual. Okay, Gerard's finally he's finally enlightening us a little bit more info here. Keith Elwood sent D pics to Candace. Do you support that? Who's Candace? Was it consensual? I don't know anything about any of this shit you're talking about. Your sarcasm is even better in German. Well, ich versuche meine Bestes. Bro, you're like Gerard's conscience. You're like a protester. You're like an annoying protester. Keith Elwood sent D pics to Candace. Who, Candace Cameron? Kirk Cameron's sister? The chick who played DJ in Full House? Oh, McLovin's finally shedding some light. Darius Truxton is a YouTuber who mostly does reactions and rank videos. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Anyway, let's try to get to some original thoughts here. John Evan Bear, AVGN, was one of the first internet series I got into back when he was still going by Angry Video Game Nerd in 2006. Now I don't even watch his stuff anymore, only when Film Trek does stuff about him. Yeah, Gerard's getting on my nerves. I'm just going to hide user at this point. You going to let me do that on here? Okay, you're being a dick and it's not letting me do it. I tried. I need to add a moderator to my chats at this point. But you never know how many people are going to watch, so sometimes I don't need a moderator. Was the channel better when the Slobs was still around on screen, or now that there's almost no new content each year recently? I mean, I still think it's better now. Well, I don't know. It just depends. Like, there's definitely more fodder to, like, critique when they were on screen. But now that the Slobs aren't on screen, like, there's, like, kind of less to talk about in general, which is bad for the Cinematic or Truth Forum. But for me, I honestly couldn't give a fuck. It is nice to kind of not see Justin on screen anymore. Pine Vinyl, AVGN, the fact it was a cell phone video was my biggest gripe. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all kind of acknowledged at this point that cell phone games aren't really the epitome of, like, real games. They're more time wasters. They're more of things that you can, like, build DLC into or like, loot boxes. You know, they're not, like, real fucking games. So it's like, I made a video one time on it. It was like kind of like a real-time strategy that I really liked called Clash Royale. It was like a cousin game to Clash of Clans or whatever it was called. I still play it every now and then to this day, even though I've gotten quite bored of it. But I made a video of it on YouTube extolling the virtues of this game that I liked. And man, that video did so fucking bad. And the game was like new at the time and still kind of hot. Like a lot of people played it and they still play it. And that video, I think to this day, and it's like years and years old, it's sitting at like 350 views. Even for that time, my that was low for my channel. So it's like, yeah, cell phone games. It's like, I'm sure there's some like little kids out there who have very successful YouTube channels who only do videos on like mobile games. But I think for anyone who's a millennial, it's like, if you're doing like a whole ass video on a mobile game, it's like, yeah, it's gonna suck. It's going to be lame, especially if it's like a shovelware mobile game or whatever the fuck. Unoriginal, no, this channel has no mods. I don't have a Discord. I don't have mods. I don't know who to trust to be a mod. I mean, there's a few of you guys that I think I could trust because you're just haven't done anything weird. You've been hanging around this whole time. So I might look into that because I would definitely have someone ban Gerard's conscience at this point. Yeah, it's not letting me do it on OBS, so. Oh, shit. No, come back here. God, this is the most. There we go. I'm back in it. Synths, Chicago, you're referring to the Abacab thing, I'm assuming? Yes, the synths were good on Abacab. Are we getting to the bottom of this yet? Yeah, I would imagine, shithead, that the Horse Prince would have a huge cock similar to Mike Matei. It's like a fucking muscle, that thing. Another appendage. Have I reached the bottom? Damn it, Bobby. All right, I'm gonna look. I think. Oh yeah, this is. I want to bring this up. I don't know why. This is apropos of nothing. I'm at Walmart the other day, right? And fucking throw this fucking nasty chocolate out. I'm at Walmart the other day, banana, and I see these like chocolate bars called Feastables, and I'm like, man, I'm always down to try a new chocolate bar, and because I like chocolate bars. The thing's like $2.50, and it's not big, and it's called Feastables, and I'm like, well, that's stupid. That's like Lunchables, like that's a dumb name. And then I notice it says Mr. Beast, and it was after I already bought it. I fucking supported Mr. Beast. And the chocolate bar, it had a multi-pack, and it said best chocolate in the world. And I'm like, this bar's a little expensive, so maybe it's halfway decent. Bro, this chocolate tastes like that fucking, when you go like trick-or-treating back in the day, or you get like that, like for Easter, you get that chocolate, and it doesn't even have like a logo on it. It's just wrapped up in tinfoil, and it's just like generic chocolate. And you eat it, and it's like, wow, this definitely tastes like generic, like really low ingredient chocolate. Yeah, that was this whole fucking thing tasted like complete generic bullshit. Like, man, he really got one over on me there. I had never seen a YouTuber who would, like, I guess if you want to count Jake or Logan Paul's Prime, but this actually has the dude's name on the fucking packaging. I've never seen a YouTuber get his shit into a major retail store like Walmart. Like, that shit was insane to me. And then I ate it, and I gave him money. Like, I don't know what Mr. Beast's like whole deal is. I know he's got like a bajillion subscribers or whatever, but yeah, like that shit was not good. He has garbage chocolate. All right. It's a lot easier to keep up with these comments on my actual phone here. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of shit that I haven't seen because OBS sucks. Damn, man. All right, maybe I can ban this. Okay. Hide user on this channel. All right, I think I finally hid Gerard's conscience. Thank God. Okay, another thing I've seen people say in the comments is that I need to look at Steven Seagal's record he did, like songs from Diamond K or something like that. I listened to that record. It wasn't like that cringe. I mean, Steven Seagal, like, by far is a very cringe motherfucker, but that album wasn't like awful. It like wasn't great. It was generic. But like I wasn't really seeing like the jokes, honestly. Like Cumtown does some great takedowns of his movies, and they're really funny. But yeah, I didn't see it there. And I same with Bruce Willis's album. Like it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it was like it was meh. It was lackluster, but it wasn't like Corey Feldman. It wasn't like Vanilla Ice doing a hard rock album. It wasn't Garth Brooks going emo. It wasn't fucking Dee Dee Ramone trying to do rap. That's I'm looking for the real hardcore shit. That's god awful. Eddie Murphy tried to be a pop star. Reyes World, it said Nightmare Inside You is a good track. Thank you. Is Life in Turmoil in your set list? Unfortunately, Life in Turmoil was in our last set list, or was it? No, it wasn't. Life in Turmoil hasn't been in our set for a very long time. That's an old song. I really like it, but yeah, unfortunately that song won't be in there. we have a lot of crap we have to fit in, and a lot of times, like, a lot of songs that I like get kind of like shoved to the side because it's like I know the audience aren't gonna really dig it as much as they're gonna like our newer stuff. Sue says, holy shit, the early Netflix Trailer Park Boys are so awful. Mike Clattenburg was really the glue. When he stopped writing, it wasn't as ever good anymore. The early Netflix. Oh, are you talking about when Netflix acquired Trailer Park Boys? I thought there was still some really good jokes in there. I thought that when they came back, it was still really funny, personally. Was the Netflix Trailer Park Boys when they had like Leslie Dancer in there? Because if so, I thought that was a funny character. I mean, you're never going to beat the Mustard Tiger, but I mean, he was still, he added an interesting menace to the show, I felt. Portishead, hell yeah. Trip Hop forever, man. You can listen to Trip Hop to this day and it doesn't sound like it aged a bit, man. That shit just like stood the test of time. So hard. It made me hard, and I still listen to it. Yeah, Chicago, Salvador Dali. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to making you guys mods. Chicago, weren't you supposed to be setting up a Discord for me and then showing me how to use it? Like fucking old man over here. Like, dude, even like Red Cow has a Discord. I need to get on top of the Discord thing now. Yeah, sorry for anyone just tuning in or whatever. If you want to hear about the meat and potatoes of the AVGN stuff, you can scroll to the beginning of the stream. I tried to get to it like quick, and now I'm just bullshitting with people in the chat at this point, reading their comments. Creepy Boris, I started playing Raid Shadow Legends because of an old Cinemassacre. Have been playing for over 4 years now. Well, yeah, Raid Shadow Legends was like advertised on everybody's channel at one point. My podcast even, we used to do ad reads for BetterHelp, which has like very much come under fire lately. And by lately, I mean like the past 2 or 3 years. I've never used the service myself, but they paid us money, and it was before I realized that they were apparently not a very good company for offering mental health, whatever the fuck. Josh, I got no time to look like an idiot in front of someone I like watching. I probably lost the context of that because I'm reading comments that are like 5 hours ago. One time I even got to do a voice chat with Metal Jesus Rocks when I used to watch him. He was very nice to talk to, but I was very shy talking to him. Yeah, you know, people have asked me, like, they're like, dude, I would love to see you do a takedown video of Metal Jesus. Bro, that guy's like, he seems like the friendliest guy in the world. What the fuck? I got no dirt on Metal Jesus, guys. Yes, it's annoying that he, like, really leans into that hidden gem shit. And he'll retread the same thing. He'll do like PS2 buying guide for 2023, even though he's done several PS2 buying guides. His guests back in the day, he used to have a lot more and varied guests, and sometimes they ranged in quality for being comfortable on camera. Kelsey was a favorite. She was so fucking hot and still is. And yeah, I'm a guy, so I say things like that. What can I say? But yeah, I got really nothing to say negative about Metal Jesus. I enjoy his content. I've enjoyed his content for a long time. Him and Radical Reggie's game pickups are always a fun watch to kill time. They're usually like 50 minutes of, you know, very heavily edited content showing new game pickups. I've gotten some ideas for games I wanted to play from watching those videos, so I don't really have anything negative to say about old Jason, Metal Jesus Rocks guy. Sue, I don't have Discord. I don't have mods. Our pets' heads are falling off. Okay. Don't know what that means. Okay, now I'm getting to the Mr. Beast stuff. No mods, keeping it raw. Hell yeah, M. Presley. This channel ain't big enough for mods. Hey man, I didn't know it was a fucking Mr. Beast candy bar until I got home and read the packaging more thoroughly. Yes, the chocolate bar did have razors in it, and it had HRT hormones in it as well. So now I'll be growing breasts, which is fine. Clayton Shtick. My mom bought me that without even knowing. LMAO, I was looking at the bar right now. Yeah, they already got like a whole like fucking 4-pack of multiple bars. Like, bro, your shit don't even taste good enough to have like a 4-pack. Like, people are gonna want it that much. Then they need that many. Oh, what's this talking about? God of exploding. Kira Strings, the quote, "You just have to look for good music," end quote, argument is BS because even if you do find someone great, you're the only one. Yeah. Well, you could still find good music out there. You just gotta look for it. In an ocean of infinite possibilities musically now, we have suffered so much as, like, music listeners. I venture to say that we were a lot better off when we had television stations, radio stations of multiple varieties, curating, cutting through a lot of the crap, and presenting us the best of the best. And you could still find underground bands at that time. And I would argue it was just as hard to find underground bands back then that it is now. The internet has not made it easier because it has grown exponentially, all the possibilities that you could find out there. But when you had an MTV or a Much Music or a Fuse or MTV2, and you had those DJs who could play whatever they wanted to play, like, it was a lot easier to find cool shit. Like, all right, so like nowadays, if Primus just started out, I would never find Primus, and they're one of my favorite bands. Like, there would be no platform for that unless they made a popular fucking TikTok video. And even then, I don't watch TikTok, so like, I'm in the dark, man. When people ask me what new music I've been listening to, I got nothing. I got nothing for them. I've fallen into that old man trap of listening to the shit that I grew up listening to, and I barely take in a new band, hardly at all. And I don't like that it's that way, but there's just too much shit out there. And then a lot of times they'll have like one good song, and I'll listen to the other stuff, and I'm just like, well, whatever. I don't care. I'm not emotionally invested in this enough to keep going through this and trying to figure new crap out. Man, I got a trash can by me. I got a cooler by me. This was very smart to just have everything I need right by me. Beer number 2, boys. About to get fucked up. Oh, yeah. No, I finally found out how to hide Gerard's conscience from my stream. Marina, I've still managed to not watch a single Mr. Beast video. That face of his is too off-putting. I've never seen a single episode of Mr. Beast either. I don't know what his deal is. Isn't he some kind of like 28-year-old like philanthropist who has donated a bunch of shit or did something? Doesn't he do good things for people, but yet people still hate him? Is there some did he show his penis to somebody yet? I don't know what his deal is. Clayton Shtick, I like this question. Do you have a favorite Mega Man game? Probably Mega Man X2. I remember playing Mega Man X when I was a kid and thinking that it was a fucking phenomenal game. But when X2 came out, it was darker. You had those 3 sub bosses, Violin, Sergei's, and the other one's name. And they hid throughout the levels, and you had to find them to recover Zero's parts. That was an interesting dynamic. You could like air dash, and you could overcharge your weapon, which you could do in the first one too. Finding Dr. Light's capsules hidden in the level was so fun. The sprite work on the Mega Man X games on Super Nintendo looked so good. When Mega Man X went over to the PlayStation, the sprites became so small and the levels were so big. So like X would be like the size of like this on screen, which is about the same size as my cock. And it was just, you felt so much weaker. On the Super Nintendo, X was like this big. So I don't know. That's just the sprites. Everything changed on the PS games or whatever. So anyway, Mega Man X2 is my favorite Mega Man X game. What about Joe Pesci's rap album? Please tell me that's real. I'll do an episode on it tomorrow. Honestly, like Mr. Beast chocolate, even though I didn't watch his videos. All right, well, apparently you've never had Ghirardelli or Toblerone or shit. Even a good old Hershey's almonds bar is better than Mr. Beast bullshit. That Chris Cornell album with Timbaland was kind of weird. I did a whole video on that, Hobo Cakes. You're gonna have to dig a little bit further on that one. I wish I had waited until my, latest run of artists that made bad album or weird albums, genre pivots as I like to call it. I wish I had waited to do the Chris Cornell album because I think it would have gotten a lot more views. But I kind of did it much like the Jada Pinkett Smith Wicked Wisdom new rock band that she tried to do. I did that before I realized that stringing all these videos together back to back was like the better move. But they're out there on my channel. I did do a video of that Chris Cornell album, Scream. It's not a bad album. It's a good pop album with Chris Cornell trying to sing pop music. Longtime follower, Corey Cameraman's from Canada. How long do you normally have on stage, Josh? Corey, it's normally about 30 to 35 minutes. 35 is probably the average. So we usually play about 7 to 9 songs. But a 45-minute set, you're talking like 14, 15 songs, which is great. I like being on stage the longer as long as possible, because you already spent all that time setting everything up. Might as well be on there as long as you can. But yeah, that's typical for most bands who aren't national acts or openers for national acts. If so, like you go see a band on tour, the opening band usually gets like an hour to an hour and a half, if that. When I saw Nine Inch Nails back in 2005, I think they were co-headlining with Queens of the Stone Age. But I didn't give a shit about Queens of the Stone Age, and I still don't. Death from Above 1979 was opening, which was interesting because like they've kind of developed a cult following now. But I swear to God, Queens of the Stone Age played all of their fucking material, and I'm like, go away! I want to see Nine Inch Nails. I don't give a shit about Queens of the Stone Age. But I think that it must have been a co-headline for them to play that fucking long. Discords are the end of any fun outside chat. Does that mean it's a good thing or a bad thing? Numismatic Stacker, been a fan of AVGN from the beginning. After the lawsuit, Cinemassacre has been going downhill. Lawsuits? What lawsuits? I don't remember any Cinemassacre lawsuits. Unless I'm having a mental, whatever you want to call it. Momentary lapse of reason. That's a good Pink Floyd album, actually. Motley Crue just released a new song. It's just as bad as you think it is. Well, yeah, I mean, if Vince Neil is singing on it, then didn't Vince or Mick Mars, aren't all his bones like fused together? Like, doesn't he have some kind of debilitating disease? How is that motherfucker still on stage playing like guitar, and being able to do like his leads and shit? I thought that guy was like fucked, but apparently not as bad. Metal Jesus' biggest scam was his flooded basement. Dude, I felt so bad for him when that happened. That sounded like such a pain in the ass. I remember that. I remember when his basement got flooded. I got blocked by Kelsey on Twitter because I said, quote, "This is what happened when your store is in Seattle when her Pink Gorilla game store got robbed." Well, yeah, dude. I mean, come on now, Chicago. She's not going to take that comment well. I mean, there's a couple of retro game stores here in Jacksonville. They've never gotten robbed, though. But Jacksonville was like the murder capital of the United States for a while. But see, here's the thing about Jacksonville people don't understand. And they like talk shit about Florida all the time. Jacksonville is one of the biggest cities landmass. So if you're talking statistics, you might take the statistics of 4 cities and put them together, and it's going to be high. That's basically what Jacksonville is. It's a massive city. Like, there's Jax Beach, which is considered its own city. Then there's main Jacksonville, north, west, south side, and they all have their own big-ass expanses to them. So I think we get a bum rep for that alone. Jacksonville still sucks, though. Like, we have no... Like, our art and music and stand-up comedy and whatever. I think, like, poetry's doing pretty good here now. Like, starting to pop off. But, like, our music scene here is garbage. That's why we try not to play locally. We try to get the fuck out. I'd love to get to the West Coast. Or even up north would be great with my band. Brandon LeBlanc, Josh, have you watched the 2016 movie Hired Gun? Yes, I have. Very insightful on the music industry. I have watched it. Very good. I agree with you. Highly recommended to anyone in the music industry. Hired Guns it's basically about people who are in bands, big bands, and they are not a full-fledged member. So they are a hired gun. They get paid differently. They get treated differently. They had a very interesting thing with Patrick. I forget his last name, from Filter. He was the guitar player for Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor treated him like shit, so he's like, fuck this, I'm going to start my own band. He started Filter, and they were pretty successful. Obviously, they didn't get anywhere near as big as Nine Inch Nails, but, I mean, definitely, you know a few of their songs. Mainly, hey, man, nice shot. You know that one. And then they got, would you wanna take my picture, cause I don't remember. They got that song. Those were like their 2 kind of big ones or whatever. Their records are pretty good too. Good alternative rock band. Killer Squid 87. Hey Josh, I found Red Cow, then you through them, and we have similar tastes. Your Peter Gabriel I.O. review was great. Looking forward to more of those. Yeah, it's a great album, man. What can you say? Phil Collins can't even play patty cakes on his cajon anymore, but Peter Gabriel's just killing it. His voice sounds better than ever. Motherfucker can still sing, can still write some great songs. You know, I'd be the first one to talk shit if it wasn't good, but no, Peter Gabriel put out a great album last year, and you know, the more artsy people always win in the end, right? Like, the guys who go full pop, they burn out, people turn against them. It's the ones who stick to their guns and do what they truly want to do, uncompromised. Those are the ones who win. They may not win with the money and like the millions of gold records, but with the core hardcore fan base and the quality of the music that will be remembered as time goes on, they're the ones who win, in my opinion. And I feel that way about Peter Gabriel. Love me some PDG. Oh yeah, Newsmatic Stacker, smash the like button. Yeah, if you could take a moment and hit like on this, and let's get this Friday stream cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Although I have had a decent amount for my channel, at least, of concurrent watchers, probably because I talked about AVGN in the beginning. You guys want to know a shitty soda? It's a Squirt, sugar-free. They sell it at Publix. It's like this grapefruit soda. So elderly convalescents like myself, of course, love this shit because it doesn't taste like fun. It's like when you want like a carbonated drink that isn't beer, that has like a hint of sweetness, of grapefruit sweetness. Doesn't that sound appealing, kids? Squirt. That's what it's called. And it's full of Taiwanese ejaculate. That's why it's called Squirt. And that's why it's so cheap. It's always on sale, and that's why. Voluntary Lady Decade and Tafatagum are worse scammers than Metal Jesus. How is Metal Jesus a scammer, though, bro? Like, I don't see how he's a scammer. Lady Decade is very, like, nice with her clickbait shit, I guess. Apparently she appears on Red Cow's stuff more than mine. I never get served her stuff, but they're always talking about Lady Decade. She does the whole sexy thumbnails and all that stuff. Seems a bit of a grift, if you ask me, which is something I've been accused of many a times, being a grifter. Anytime I talk about James, I'm grifting you guys. Did you know that about me? Totally trying to take your money. Whatever, fuck it. Who cares? That's the only reason I'm doing all this. It's the only reason I bought any of this shit back here was so I could just take your money eventually. All the way back in 2015, I started this channel so I could eventually take all your fucking money. It's not because I have a passion for anything or feel like I need to like put my individual opinions into anything. It's because I just want your money. Sue Blanton, if the bars had HRT, this guy could transition well. Big almond eyes, full lips, great face symmetry, could be pretty in any gender. See, Sue, I knew you had a crush on me. And I don't know how old you are. But I might have a crush on you depending on if you're 21 plus. That's my lowest limit. Anyway. Josh, is your alcohol full of water? No, you see, this is what a real bottle of alcohol looks like. You see those foamy bubbles up there? That means it's carbonated and it's actually got like alcohol in it, unlike James's watery Heineken or Red Rolling Rock that he tossed at the floor there in that episode that we just kind of went through. I mean, I get that like if you're filming like an AVGN in the middle of the day, you don't want to start day drinking, so I don't spite the water thing, but he used to have beer in his shit, like back in the day. Not all the time, but he definitely used to have beer in his Rolling Rock. Kiara Strings, fuck it, why don't I read this comment? I'm currently transitioning and I want those bars. I could be such a pretty goth girl. Hell yeah, love goth girls. They're hot. I like the alternative in the goth looks, guys. Just recently got fucked around by a hot goth chick who couldn't decide if she liked me or this other guy. She started talking to the other guy first, but then she didn't expect to like me as much as she did. But then the first guy ended up deciding he wanted to ask her out and make her his woman, so she just went with that. So now I'm just here with my live stream. And Sue. I'm just kidding. Well, no, all that other shit did happen, but just kidding about the Sue thing. Sue could be a fucking 40-year-old man for all I know. All of you are probably 40-year-old men, which is good because we all have the same opinions, us men of a certain age. Oh my god, my favorite Mega Mans are 2 and 3 and 9. Oh, so you like the 8-bit ones. Yeah, those are great games too. I don't like I like in 3 how you could actually slide. That was a very useful mechanic. Made the game feel faster, although Mega Man 2 is a classic. Mega Man 1 kind of sucks, but it was the first game on the system, so makes sense. Yes, Mega Man games were excellently designed. God, my fucking nose with this light sensitivity. Oh yeah, Billy Corgan got a new guitar in Chicago. I hope they last longer than Shannon did. Who is Shannon? Did they get a new one and then another new one? Yeah, literally my singer Ari just sent me that before I got on stream tonight. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a video about that, honestly. I love Smashing Pumpkins, and I need to comment on any new Smashing Pumpkin news. I feel compelled. Chris Spawn, I agree with you about listening to newer bands. It just gets difficult to keep up with everything, and I end up going back to bands I already liked. Yeah, that's the same thing that happens with me. I listen to like 1 or 2 songs by a new band, and then I'm like, well, that's cool. I'm going to forget about them and then just go back to the shit that I already like. I mean, I have all the albums by all the bands that I've taught. Alice in Chains, Pumpkins, Rush, I have all their albums. REM, and I've digested all their albums. So it's like a much richer pool for me to dive into. Okay, so we're getting confirmation that Joe Pesci did do rap. I'm going to have to look into this now. What in the actual fuck? Replying to Chicago, Kiera goes, the band goes through so many guitarists, even the Red Hot Chili Peppers are like, oh damn guys, stop. Dude, Red Hot Chili Peppers is like the Spinal Tap of drummers. Like their guitar, like what a weird. there's some bands that just can't hold on to like a specific member for some reason. Like fucking what, Metallica with their bass players, fucking Chili Peppers with their lead guitar players. There's just those bands out there that just can't like hold down a certain member. It's like really interesting to me. The Canon asks favorite band. Sorry if you've been asked that a lot. Rush, Genesis, Smashing Pumpkins, REM. Those are just the ones that come off the top of my head. Oh, Pink Floyd. Yeah, Pink Floyd, definitely. Oh, definitely Pink Floyd. I re-listened to Animals the other day. It was really good. That album is so fucking good. Have you heard of Less Than Jake? Yes, I've heard of Less Than Jake. They're okay if you like ska punk of the 90s, which I don't. Goldfinger's alright, I guess. Man, the fact that your Genesis video got so much negative attention from Phil's grandkids saying, don't ever talk about Phil's failing health. Yeah, which Phil Collins video? Any Phil Collins video I do. I mean, I did the one where it's like, Phil, it's time to retire. That one got some hate. Then I did like a review of Genesis' last Domino tour where I kind of like slagged Phil's awful performance. And yeah, that kind of got some negative. That was like half and half, because like half of the people agreed with me and the other half were like, oh, well, you should just be happy that Phil's still up there doing it, and he owes you nothing, and I went to that show and it was fucking amazing. And it's like, yeah, that's great, man, and you have a different set of ears than I do. I'm sorry that I have like quality standards that I adhere to. Like, I'm sorry, like, you don't, I do, that's fine. Like, but I'm allowed to critique like shit I love. God knows I've extolled the virtues of Genesis so many times. I've extolled the virtues of Phil Collins and his voice and his drumming. Like, you just choose to focus on like the fucking negative shit that I say. Like, and yes, I am a negative fuck, but I've said a lot of positive shit too. All right, we have some trans talk in the chat here. Sue responding to Kara Strings. In all honesty, there are people that transition in their late 20s that pass. Don't compare your journey to others. Michelle Otter started in 27 and 28, and now she's 30, looks amazing. Yeah, it all depends, you know. It depends on what canvas are you starting out on, you know. I think I was at a karaoke gig that I was hosting, and there was an individual who had a beard, short hair, hairy chest, was wearing some kind of a skirt, signed up for karaoke, put their name down, in parentheses, put she, her, and that's the world we live in now. So there's all kinds of varying degrees of things that you can do of transition-wise. And I almost felt like this person was trolling me because there was nothing feminine looking about this individual. This individual looked like a man in every way, shape, and form. But you know what? I respect their journey. Namaste. Oh, but no, when it comes to trans women, I've seen more often than not. I mean, if they actually are like putting effort into it, they can look passable. You know, it's all good, man. Do whatever you want to fucking do. Whatever makes you happy. This guy will never judge you. I know that much. All right. See, I'm going all over the place here. This is if I had just made a AVGN video, would have gotten way more views than this live stream. Would have gotten way more views. But I enjoy doing these talks. I enjoy talking to the people who watch my channel. So yeah, I figured that was appropriate for this because if I just made a standalone AVGN video on his last episode, it would have been a 5 to 6 minute video, and that's all I would have had to have said about it. So, you know. Anyway. Chicago, look, Josh, I tried to be nice. I even said I felt bad. Kelsey's store was robbed. Yeah, she was probably in the midst of being very sensitive about anybody saying like, well, you shouldn't have done that. You know, that probably comes across to her as like, here's a random internet person mansplaining to me what I should and shouldn't have done. I'm just saying that's probably how it came across to her. Was there accurate? I don't know how violent Seattle is. I know California, especially Los Angeles, has gone to shit with all that, the homeless population and all that. And I'm just going to back out of that state of sentences while I still can, because I don't really have the information to comment on that one way or the other. Is Seattle a violent city? I don't know. Only Crow TV. Everything I watch, maybe you meant to say every time. Every time I watch one of your videos, I get an advertisement for women's goth clothing. Well, what does that tell you about me? It tells you all you need to know. Corey Cameraman's Billy Joel really screwed over his drummer of 30-ish years. Yes, he was a hired drummer, but still. Yeah. It happens, man. It happens to the best of us. Ace Frehley and Peter Criss signed away their rights to be full members of KISS back in like the late 70s, early 80s. And then when they came back in the 1990s for a KISS reunion with the makeup back on, they were not band members. They were hired guns. Even though they were founding members, that was just how the business worked. The thought was, especially with Paul Stanley, I've kept this band on life support throughout the 80s, even as Gene Simmons went out to do his shitty acting movies that ended up bombing. And then Gene comes back with his tail tucked between his legs, and they just keep the band going best they can. And, you know, then they get the opportunity to get the original guys, Peter and Ace, back into the band. And yeah, they're like, you guys are getting way less money than me and Gene are because you guys left. We stayed. I'm not saying that's any way, shape, or form comparable to the Billy Joel thing, but if you're not a member as far as like the record contract is concerned or whatever outside legal contract you have, it's kind of like tough shit at that point, you know? Like they can pay you whatever they want to pay you, and if you have a problem, I mean, business will always trump like friendship in the music industry unless you're a band like Rush where they were like brothers and everything was equally split. Geddy Lee didn't get more money for doing this. Neil didn't get more money for doing that. It was all split equally because they were brothers and they loved each other. And the only reason that band even quit was because Neil was sick. They would still be playing to this day if Neil were still alive and well. But they're a rare example of a band that really did not let money get into the way of their personal relationships. God of Exploding, I prefer the random music chats. Well, good, because I do too. In Butthead voice. He said squirt. Yeah, I'm drinking some squirt right now. Red Bar is funny, especially Mike David's Joey Diaz videos. No, I agree. I think Red Bar is really funny. I love his car crash sound. I wish I had like a soundboard where I could play sounds, but yeah, Red Bar is a very funny show. I agree with that. His coverage on Joe Matarese, all that stuff. Yeah. Sometimes his shit gets pretty boring. He'll go on these like tangents where it's like whatever. Ricky Lewis, I'm playing Dead by Daylight with my girlfriend and listening. Love you and Red Cow. Thank you. Dead by Daylight. That reminds me of that PS4 game Dying Light, which fucking sucks. I'm selling it on eBay right now because couldn't get into it. I know Dead by Daylight's a completely different game. Donnie Lynch started an hour ago. What did I miss? Never saw this AVGN video. Well, thankfully, this is an archived live stream, so you can go watch that video and then watch the first 30 minutes of this stream. That's really the only relevant parts to the angry video game nerd shit. And then I just go off on this tangent that you're seeing right now. I'm surprised so many people have stuck around. Carrie Cameraman, how old was this goth chick, Josh? The one who broke my heart. She was 21. Quite young, but she acted mature for her age. That's why I kept her around, because I can't do that immature shit. Ira Bruyere, Josh, you gonna go back to covering your old journals? Yeah, I'd love to do that. it didn't seem like there was like a whole hell of a lot of interest in it. I go by not wasting my time versus like the value of my time versus like how interesting the thing is I'm covering. So like if it's really interesting to me, I don't mind if it's less viewers. But if it's like not that interesting to me and it gets viewers, I'll still do that too. But if it's like kind of interesting and not really getting viewers, then I won't. But I still, I mean, I don't know, man. Whatever. If people liked watching it, then I might do a part 2 because it was fun going down memory lane. Nashobi White Deer, I've been on here before. My name is Nashobi AK Wolf in Choctaw. My question is, what are your favorite horror movies? Saw, the first like 2 Saw movies. Honestly, dude, not a huge fan of the horror genre. I just think it's kind of like one-dimensional most of the time. I like psychological stuff a lot more. To me, a movie like The Shining is way freakier than any fucking horror movie where it's like a slasher film. I don't really want to see that shit anyway. It's kind of like bugs me. Call me a pussy all you want, I don't care. Maybe I am. Donnie Lurch, last time I really got into a newer artist, I got into Kendrick Lamar and then he stopped recording. I would say To Pimp a Butterfly is like a 10 out of 10 record as far as I'm concerned. Me and the Fantano will agree on that one, man. No, that Kendrick Lamar is really good, but T-Pab is his like best work by far, and he hasn't been able to top it, in my opinion. Slunkster, man. LOL, man, I like your content, and I am 35. I did find you before Red Cow. Shout out to Primus 2. Just saw them live in Utah. It was amazing. Sweet. Yeah, I can't believe from what little appearances I made on Red Cow how many people like found out about me through them. And like my channel is like slightly bigger than theirs, but I think they have a way more dedicated following than I do. Although I'm getting there with the dedicated following. But they're the people who have invested in Red Cow are like, they are very invested in those dudes' lives. Also, the new Taylor Swift album is god awful, easily her worst. Yeah, that album, her newest one, the Tortured Poet Society. What a fucking melodramatic name. And you know, I am so tired of hearing about her relationship crap, whatever. You know what? Just for that, we're gonna watch some cringy James overacting. Just for that mention.
Oh my God, he's force feeding me. Just one more. Cough, cough, cough. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. The horse is shoving the fucking green onions down my fucking throat. I can see an old lady beckoning me toward
Yeah, sorry I had to do that to you guys, but you know, you bring up Taylor Swift on this stream, and there has to be some consequences. So just know that I have all these clips loaded up, like right now, ready to go, that if you say something I don't like, don't think I won't play that again, because I fucking will. Hopefully I don't get demonetized for it, though. That's the only thing that would suck. Because, God, I love me money more than Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley combined. That's the whole reason I did this whole thing. I just carpet bombed my my live stream. What's my opinion on the Syd Barrett era of Pink Floyd? Not a fan. Don't like that psychedelic crap. They had a few good songs, but Syd just didn't do it for me at all. What else do we got here? All right, well, while I look for that, you're going to get more AVGN overacting.
First of all, could you lower that hoof and calm down a little? I would have died if he was an inch closer. Oh my God. The horse's hoof almost went right through her fucking skull.
Yeah, sorry I had to do that again. I needed time. I needed time to Yeah, Neshobe White Deer, would you ever consider playing at Rocklahoma? Oh, I don't know. If they reached out and asked my band if we would play a stage at Rocklahoma, I think that we would make it happen. Yes, we would definitely play Rocklahoma. I would rather play Welcome to Rockville since it's in Daytona, which is like a 45-minute drive from my city, but we could find a way out to Oklahoma, I guess. You've seen Vinnie Vincent lately? Yeah, I think he's transitioning himself actually. Ashtray, when did the star just got home? I think it started at 9, so I'm almost 2 hours now. I have to rock a wicked piss, so I might have to step away for a second. Yeah, you missed all the AVGN talk. If you back that thing up to the beginning, first like 30, 45 minutes, I'm talking about it. Now I'm just bullshitting for the longest time. I've been bullshitting. A lot of bullshitting. Unoriginal says I don't date people anymore. Why not? I don't really date people either. I had considered dating the girl that I was talking to, but yeah, nah. That didn't happen. You all are my boyfriends and girlfriends. How does that make you feel? No MGTOW, entertained 45. We're not doing that shit up in here. I'm not a man going my own way. I don't think women are stupid. I don't think men are superior. I'm definitely not one of those guys. I still hook up with ladies. I just don't date them. And it's a consensual thing. It's not like fuckboy thing. Oh God, Izzy, we need the Finn McKenty collab. Okay, first of all, Finn McKenty is way bigger than I will ever be. I have not expressed very high opinions of punk rock NBA. I don't know. He's just kind of annoying to me. I don't really see. I mean, I'm sure we could sit and talk music for a good while and bullshit, but yeah, man, if 1 million, however many subscribers he has, if he wants to reach out to me and he wants to collab, sure, but I don't see that happening. No, I would never do a video on the Cinemasker podcast, because that would involve me watching hours and hours of some of the most boring content on YouTube, so I'm not about it. Shithead, I'm here from Red Cow. Congratulations, welcome. I don't blame Frankie or EJ in the least for not jumping on this live stream. I wouldn't either if I were them. They jumped on the last one, though. Sincerely, your topics on weird video subjects are great. Thank you. And the last one did really good. The singers whose voices went to shit. I didn't know what that video would do, but thankfully it did good. And so now I might do. Well, I want to do the hidden tracks one because I did that poll in the Facebook community forum area, what do you want to call it? And everyone, I mean, a lot of people wanted the hidden track video. You see, kids, if you used to buy CDs, you'd get to track 12 and you'd think it's the end of the line. And you're like, oh, that's all the content. And then it kept going. The counter kept going. And you're like, what's this? Why does it keep going? Why is it not going to 00.00? Why does it keep going? And then you got to the hidden track. And that was always a very interesting experience. Sometimes it was a full-fledged legit song. And sometimes it was like some bullshit, but it was always exciting to see what it was going to be. So I want to do a video on hidden tracks because you'll never appreciate hidden tracks now. Spotify shows you what the fucking hidden track is. So you see that there's another track. It's not hidden anymore. It's like out in plain day. But back when you bought the CD and it wasn't on the track list, it was like, what? There's a new thing on the thing. Red Cow's Bluey videos cured my insomnia. They sure do like talking about that fucking Bluey cart. If I had a kid, I'd probably be talking about the kids' cartoons as well. The name of the show, Bluey, is awfully close to Blowy, which is what my friends would comically refer to as a blowjob. Hey, give me a blowy. And so every time I hear Bluey, I just think of a blowjob. And it's a kid's show, and those are two things that should not go together, so I don't necessarily like the name of that show. Ira, Josh, how did you think your live with Frankie went? I thought it was a good one for sure. More in the future. Dude, I loved doing that live stream with Frankie. I love talking to Frankie. Like, he can just talk and just go on his own, and he's very easy to bounce off of. He's engaging. He's very intelligent. He's clearly like the lead guy on Red Cal, and I feel like EJ is like the straight-ish man. I don't mean that in his sexuality, but because EJ does have some funny things that he'll say sometimes. But EJ just kind of takes whatever Frankie says and he'll just kind of like react to it, and he'll tag it with his own comment, but he won't always necessarily like fire back with his own original comment. But that's kind of Frankie's job as like the lead guy. And so you had me, who's used to just talking by myself, and then Frankie, who's just good at talking in general. I think we always have good back and forth conversations. He'll probably come on here once every quarter or so and do a live stream, or vice versa, whatever. As a 119-pound girl, I might have to stand Taylor because I think she's pretty. I think Taylor is like 6 foot tall and alien-like. And I think when she gets angry, her eyes turn black and she develops like razor teeth, and she bites into your jugular vein and kills you. And because she's famous, very famous, she's a billionaire, she can pay to cover it up. And I think there's a lot of exes that we don't know about who weren't famous and they died because they pissed her off. They like stepped on her fucking flat or something when she was at a premiere, and she just like freaked the fuck out and killed that person. I have no proof on that, but I'm 100% sure that's exactly what happened. It's getting to where I have to pee. I might throw up my band's EPK again while I go pee. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Shit, perfect timing. All right, yeah, man, that's convenient. Now I can like go and do that and keep the children entertained. All right. I really enjoy the memes from Cinemassacre, Truth, and parody video edits, but Red Cow makes it more appealing than actually browsing the sub. A lot of vitriol in that place. Yeah, I was for a time in the sun there. I was like target number 1 in Cinemassacre Truth. They're making all kinds of memes about me in there. It's all good, man. I don't care. I'm married, so I don't date people either. I would hope not. That would make you kind of a piece of shit. Sorry, reading through the comments. Ashtray, I haven't had a relationship since 2016. The mother of my kid, we were just, quote, friends with benefits. Then she got pregnant. We tried living together and it didn't work. Been celibate since. What, is it like a psychological thing holding you back? Because I don't think I could go that long, quite frankly. I have to have my physical touch. It's important. Yes, Korn's first album definitely had a hidden track. It was very disturbing. It's basically him recollecting his molestation by his neighbor or whatever in song form. And it's my stupid ass when I was 15. I knew this girl who had been like sexually abused. I like sat down and played her that track in my own stupid way. I thought I was like relating to her, like, hey, see, I listened to stuff about this. This is me relating to you. And I just re-traumatized her and brought up a bunch of bad memories. So I was a fucking idiot back then. Beer number 3, boys. Anyone who's keeping track. Who remembers the hidden track on the Warcraft 2 CD? I remember the game Warcraft 2. I played the fuck out of that game. Did they have like a music soundtrack or something? Manson had a CD that interacted with your PC with no warning. That was pretty cool. Oh, man, interactive CDs. That's another thing that I remember. Those things were always lame as fuck, though, dude. Significant Other by Limp Bizkit had, like, interactive shit. And it was the lamest, like, 140p quality. You had to use, like, a QuickTime player to watch it. It was, like, such non-content that that was, like, the record label's idea to, like, make it more value-oriented. I guess, like, mega fans appreciated that shit at the time, but I just looked at it, I was like, this shit is so lame. This is, like, not worth my time. Oh, no, not another clip. Sorry, man. I had to take a piss. I had to rock a wicked piss. And now I have these clips to use at my disposal, so you best believe I'm fucking using them. Doug Dig. Yeah, Josh. Sorry, I'm late. Just got to work. What's good? Oh, just chilling, man. Having some beers. Talking to the people. Did talk about some AVGN and then just went off the rails as I knew it was going to. Buck Cherry, that's a name I have not heard in a while. I hate Buck Cherry. Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan of Buck Cherry, but you got to imagine if you're a lower band in popularity and they have an installed fan base, like, you open for Buck Cherry. And we won a lot of fans that night and sold a lot of t-shirts, so that was definitely a very smart move on our part. But yeah, I had hiccups the whole day that day. That's one of my main memories from that Buck Cherry show. So I got so freaked out that I barely even watched the band play because I was like at the bar next door trying to like get rid of my hiccups. I had them for like 12 hours that day. That's never happened ever since. It was really fucking weird. I was like, oh my God, is this going to be my life from now on? Just fucking hiccups? It eventually went away and it haven't been back since, but that was a very uncomfortable time. Just constantly like sucked, dude. It was like Chinese water torture, which is probably like a politically incorrect thing to say nowadays. I'm also drinking a Mick Ultra Media Hell. Good. It's a thinking man's beer. Ira, you got it right. Beer, squirt, vape. That's how I do it. It's beer. It's nasty. Well, you know, bitter beer, slightly sweet squirt, vape. It's a great combination. It's how I'm going to live well into my 50s. Yeah, I wish I had front-loaded my 1920s advertisement for the Brunswick show on the stream, but it's not on here, so you just have to go to my channel and look up. It's the latest short that I've uploaded. I thought it was pretty funny. And you can look at my lead singer and call her hot, I guess. She looked good in that video, I will say. Jar of Flies interactive CD. Oh, was that an interactive CD? That must have been an interactive CD after the fact, because that was released in like what, 93 or something. That was before they really implemented interactive CDs. So it was probably a like a reissue or something where they added that crap that was never good. I feel like Tool would have been a band that really would have jumped on that interactive thing. Darkside Phil had a bigger detractor community than Bimmy could ever have. He should be grateful because it could be a lot worse. Darkside Phil like lives off the fact that he's infamous. Him jerking off on live stream was like the best thing he could have done for his career. Like that guy was going nowhere, and now he's got all these people who just love to hate watch him. And I don't know, like I think at the time it was super embarrassing, but like looking back, it's like, yeah, that kind of that cemented your place, man, with like Wings of Redemption and Boogie is like the lol cows to end all lol cows. Slightly sweet squirt. Oh yeah, brother. You know how I roll. People are just talking amongst themselves at this point in the chat. I'm trying to like pick up things I can actually comment on. I unironically watch DSP still mostly. This is how you don't plays of him. Yeah, I could see that being entertaining. I've never watched a single DSP video. I've only seen videos about DSP. You know, because like, I don't know. All those like YouTube essayists and shit, like Turkey Tom and Gamer from Mars, Too Lazy to Try, Podcast Cringe. That's just my guilty pleasure, man. I love those videos. Like, and even if I don't know who the person is, I will still watch those stupid fucking videos. Now, like, Beige Frequency and Porcelain, they were like top tier, especially Porcelain. He was like top tier of the video essays. Like, and then I guess if you want to get into the more edgy territory, Mr. Medicare was definitely like top tier. Medicare got booted off of YouTube. Porcelain never uploads. Beige Frequency only talks about MMA shit, which I could give zero fucks about. Oh yeah, Wavy Web Surfer, he's pretty good too. I even watched Internet of J back in the day, dude. I have a fucking craving for internet drama. It's very embarrassing to admit, quite frankly, that I'm as old as I am, and I like watching this shit. You could take this whole live stream and make like the downfall of Dancing with Ghosts, Cinemasker hater turned man-child or something. I'm giving you ideas right now. I'm not big enough yet, so my video wouldn't get you any views if you did that. But like, let me get to like 50K subscribers, and you could start making, you know, those videos about me. And it would be, you know, you might get like a couple 10 more new subs to your channel. Killer Squid 87. I am now remembering my older sister having a Third Eye Blind album that had some interactive elements. Might have just been music videos loaded on, and if they were at like 140p or 240p or whatever. It's like 120p, 120, 240, 380, 4, whatever. You get what I'm math. James, that's it. We ran out of time because it's 5:40 right now. Honestly, when are those Cinemasker Truth jokes gonna become hacky? I mean, they already have. Like, I can answer that question. They already have. You know what? Just for you doing that, enjoy some fucking overacting.
I can't believe this is real. How did this game ever get made? Oh, I need a beer after that.
I'm sorry, that's what happens when you bring up hacky ass Cinemasker Truth jokes from like that were funny like 2 or 3 years ago. The amount of shit that I've posted poll wise in my community forums, or just made a community post and the oh, no time, can't go, or oh, my kids, or whatever. It's just like it's like there's always that kid in high school, right, that like just can't let a joke go, and it's like, yeah, dude, you killed the joke. Like, stop saying it. It's like not funny anymore. Now, granted, if we had some new material, that's another thing, but like, shit, that stuff is so fucking played out. But I understand it's what brought a lot of you here, so I have to respect it. But you're still going to get those clips on this stream at least. Don't worry, by the time I do my next stream, these clips will be deleted and I won't be able to pull them up anymore. But it is what it is, man. That's what happens. That's Daddy exacting his justice onto you. His my loving justice onto you. Now, together, beer, squirt, vape. Stinky dude. I have Skid Row's Slave to the Grind, and I noticed something weird. I played it on my PC, and Beggar's Day was labeled Get the Fuck Out, but Beggar's Day played. I have the cleaner version. You know, I was told that if you don't like Skid Row, you should really listen to Slave to the Grind. And I did, and it was supposed to be their, like, post-80s hair metal album, and it still sounded like 80s hair metal to me. Although, it is kind of an anomaly that Sebastian Bach is like 6 foot whatever, and he has the range that he does. Because I always thought the taller you are as a male, the lower your range is naturally going to be. But that motherfucker has some pipes, and he's tall as fuck. You never see that. It's an anomaly in nature. Too Lazy to Try is great. I love Too Lazy's videos because he reminds me of the autistic kid who's like way into like all aspects of some topic he's interested in school, and he's standing in the corner like, hey, Too Lazy, what's going on with this new Joe Rogan thing? Okay, so on this latest episode of Joe Rogan, he starts off every episode, okay, so that's like I had a friend who started his term paper off in high school with basically what happened was bro, if you're trying to do professional writing, you don't start off with basically what had happened was like blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, that's Too Lazy reminds me of like someone I might have known and been friends with in school with the way, with his autism. Back in the day, we would have called it Asperger's. Turkey Tom sucks. Why do you say that? I think he's all right. He's kind of become a bro now, though. He's like working out and he's all swole. He did a video collab with Destiny fairly recently. And he's like kind of like, he's like a bro now. He's like all like muscular and he's like putting Destiny in headlocks and shit. And Destiny's like, yeah, stop. Leave me alone, dude. Come on, man. And like Turkey Tom's like, come on, bro. Come on. It's like, is Turkey Tom trying to like initiate like a twink death or something for himself? Trying to get some testosterone flowing? Is that his penance for having to cover all this kitty YouTube shit that he probably like didn't want to cover on some level, but did anyway because he saw how much views it got him? I still watch it though. Yeah, Podcast Cringe, this fucking Australian guy just started his channel a year ago and he's like, okay guys, this is some really cringy stuff I'm about to show you. Recently on the JIE, he had on this guest and it was so bad. I can't wait to show you how cringe this is, guys. And his shit, he has blown the fuck up in the last year. He's at like 150K. Bro, he must have done some previous shit with YouTube because there's no way. Like, he knew exactly what the thumbnail should look like. He knew exactly how to engage people. From video one, it's like he acted like he's been here before. I feel like he had done something else before. You don't just come in as a new YouTuber and are that good at making videos. Like, I sure as shit wasn't. It took me 7 years to get any kind of viewership. So I don't know what the deal is with all that shit. Izzy, are you a fan of To Catch a Predator? Abso-fucking-lutely. I love Chris Hansen. I wish he hadn't fallen off so fucking hard. Like, it looks like when he got fired from, what was it, NBC or whatever the original network was that showed that. I mean, that guy looks like he's aged like 20 years and 10 years. Like, he's really gone downhill a lot, but I really liked him. Back in the day, he had that old school broadcaster professionalism thing going on, and I just thought his videos are really interesting. Dude, Porcelain, the YouTuber, his fucking videos on all his videos are so fucking good. I feel like it just wasn't that worth it for him anymore to make such long, involved. He even like stupid Joe Matteries. He did a cameo to where like Joe Matteries actually shouted out Porcelain, and Porcelain his shit was so funny and so smart. Like I would have never gone through all that effort to do all that. And do you watch Wang? Yeah, Wang, man, Justin Wang, like he goes a little too obscure for me with his shit. Like some of his stuff's okay, but like I do respect the fact that he's just like me in the sense that like he's a guy trying to push his band, but not like beat you over the head with it. But like he does have a band that he's I guess dedicated to, but it's quickly become apparent that his YouTube career has become his bread and butter, because you don't really hear much about his band because he probably doesn't need it at this point. Can't stand Patrick CC. I like Patrick CC. His videos are stupid, disposable, easy to digest videos. I'm letting you guys in on another side of myself that I never thought I would. But yeah, no, I like Patrick CC's videos a lot. Thank you, Chicago, for agreeing. I watch internet drama stuff still. I don't care. Neither do I. Media Hell asks what are some of my favorite movies. 2001: Space Odyssey, The Shining, American History X, American Psycho, American Beauty. I don't know it's with all the American terms. Fuck, American Honey is a really good one with Shia LaBeouf. As cringy as Shia LaBeouf is, American Honey is a really good movie. Shit, I'm trying to think of some 80s stuff. I really like The Wall, if that counts as a movie. Pink Floyd's The Wall. Those are some just off the top of my head. I'm not nearly as into movies as, like, say, the Red Cow guys are. They talk about movies a lot, and I kind of tune out when they start talking about that on their podcast, because I don't really care about movies all that much. I love the ones I love, and I don't really... Vivarium was a recent one with that guy who played Lex Luthor in one of the Superman movies. He has the shaggy hair. That was a really good one. Yeah, so basically, that's my answer to that. Suck my dick, batch. Yeah, man. Again, sorry for the AVGN clip, but someone had said something at some point that pissed me off, so I felt the need to play that again. That's what you get. Sorry, you can see how I'm kind of like getting to the more recent comments here. Blastovitz, if Dancing with Ghosts ever played near Raleigh, you may end up on Interstate 540. Oh my God. You're pushing it, man. You are pushing it. Beer, squirt, vape, my inner peace. Josh Gannon. Yeah, goddamn straight. Goddamn straight. Actually, I just watched Flight the other night with Denzel Washington. That's a really good movie. It's about an alcoholic, so I could relate to it. Although he's way more of an alcoholic than I am. He's way less functioning. Most alcoholic movies that's based around someone who is a drunk, they are not functional at all. Like Leaving Las Vegas, Nick Cage has to be fucked up before he even wakes up. Hancock, wasn't that about a drunk Will Smith? I'm way more functioning than all those movie guys. So that's how you know I don't have a problem. Now what's next? Fucking squirt in my mouth. And now vape. My OCD probably has a lot to do with why I feel the need to do it in that order. Do you like Ghost cover or Jesus He Knows Me from Genesis? It's okay. Honestly, I don't like the lack of synthesizers. I think Tony Banks' synthesizer work in that song is really fun. I like the beginning, like clavichord sound. I like the pads in the verses. The little reggae bridge is kind of lame, but Ghost is just all, let's just do guitars for everything, bro. Because anytime you do a heavy cover, you can't have anything synth in there. It's all got to be guitars. So I thought that was a little weak, but it was fine, I guess. Turkey Tom is trying to avoid from aging like Leafy. Yeah, Leafy had a twink death for sure. I don't know. I think Turkey Tom comes in more as like a journalist and less like a shock jock like Leafy did. And I never watched Leafy shit at all. But I only know of him from all the videos that have been made on Leafy, obviously, and there's been several. Chicago, I'm not a liberal, but I sometimes watch the autism that is Destiny. Yeah, I mean, say what you will, but Destiny kind of owned JonTron on that debate that they had. Like, John got fucking slammed. That guy was out of his depth. I don't know why JonTron, as big as he was, would have been stupid enough to, like, go on a live stream with Destiny and debate him. Like, I'm an independent personally. Like, I can see like points from both sides that I agree with, but even then, like, I wouldn't debate like Destiny. That guy's like, he's high level autism with his knowledge of politics, and I can't compete with that level of autism. Corey's sub to podcast cringe. Yeah, you know what's up, Corey. It's junk food television, but it's worth watching whenever you're hungover or just needing a time suck. Oh yeah, how about the JRE murdered guest, or the guest that ended up murdering, reoffending or whatever? Why did he have convicted or reformed convicts on his show? Like, has he run out of all the scholars and all like the bread boxers and the red pills and the his shitty comic friends that aren't funny? Has he run out of all those guys where he needs to like bring on these randos that are these supposed like reformed people now? Like, I feel like Joe probably has a whole laundry list of interesting people he could have on there instead, but whatever. Dance with Ghosts. David Gilmour has a new song called The Piper Calls, and the album is coming out in September. Wow. I'll have to check that out. I don't love the whole like throwback to The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, the first Floyd album that Gilmour wasn't even a part of, but if it's a good album, I don't give a shit. He could call it My Wife Takes a Dump on My Chest, and I love it. And if the album smacked, then I wouldn't care what he called it. Reading the comments. I only know Porcelain through Pod Awful. Jesse P.S.'s Mersh videos are hilarious. Porcelain did a whole thing on Mersh. I didn't know who Mersh was. I left watching his videos still not knowing or caring who Mersh really was. I felt like that was like some of his weaker content, which is sad because like that's some of the last content he ever uploaded. I felt like he ended on like a slightly weak note on that one. ARTV, Kiara Strings. ARTV, yeah, he's really good. Todd in the Shadows, obviously. Yeah, I like ARTV. I'm a little jealous of ARTV. He's kind of doing exactly what I want to do with my channel, but he's like way more successful and like a couple years younger at least. I swear I think these guys just grew up watching YouTube, and YouTube wasn't around when I was a kid or a teenager, so they had like a head start on it, you know, just being born later. So I was late to figuring everything out. I think they watched a lot of YouTubers. They saw how they framed the shots. They saw how they what's up guys, this is blah 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 and welcome to my channel. I didn't know how to do any of that shit. I was just going off of what I saw from watching a handful of episodes of Angry Video Game Nerd back when I started in 2015. So like, I mean, you can go back to my channel through my videos. There's no consistency to my intros. There's no consistency to my lighting, to my set. I've just now in the past like year and a half, 2 years, made some kind of consistency to having the same set, the same setup, and even like similar content. Like I decided to like ditch doing video game reviews because I was trying to do everything for everyone. And I just kind of ditched all that and stuck to music, and like it's turned out good for me when I finally like found an audience. So it took me a long time to figure out what people already figured out like that. Like I don't know what that says about my cognitive abilities, but like it took me a long time to figure out how to do all this YouTube shit. M. Presley, what brand and flavor are you vaping? It's nicotine. It's from this company called New Leaf. It's called Strawberry Kiwi. and it's 1.2% nicotine. It's fine. It hits my lungs in the way I need it to. Leaving Las Vegas is great. It is a great movie. It's sad, obviously, but especially if you drink and you feel like you drink too much. It's quite a sad movie, but it is great. Nick Cage he's Nicolas Cage, so you're gonna get very over-exaggerated acting, but it's still good. It's just he does his own Nicolas Cage thing that only he can do, and I think it's good. And there is even a shitty Sheryl Crow song that spawned from that movie. I don't know which one came first, the movie or the song. Colt, don't know why this live stream doesn't show up in my subscriptions found by accident. You have to ring the notification bell, my guy. But I know nobody can be arsed to do that because according to my analytics, only like 12% of people have like turned on the notification bell or whatever. Hey, you talking about Ashtray? You talking about JonTron? His last video was trash. You talking about that lawyer one he did of that like shitty Texas lawyer guy, like the sledgehammer or whatever? Yeah, I watched that for a little bit, and I'm like, this isn't entertaining to me. Like, this is not very good. So I turned it off like halfway in the middle. I feel like JonTron's like slight, like kind of like hit his, like the Flex Tape was kind of like his pinnacle commercially successful wise, and he's just kind of gone downhill after that. I personally liked it when he filmed his videos at his parents' house or whatever. Like, to me, those were his better videos. But, of course, you know, that's the typical hipster being like, I think his older content actually was better than his new stuff when he got a set and he started working with Maker and had a whole Star Wars Millennium Falcon, all that shit. I hated those episodes. I'm not saying that, but, like, his shit's honestly just, like, he's trying to be funny, and a lot of times it doesn't really hit for me anymore. This is Train Records. Yep. I wonder if... Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if Todd will ever cover Chinese democracy for Train Records. One could argue that Chinese democracy was kind of like wrecked Guns N' Roses' career because they haven't really done anything of significant since that album. But I don't know if that album was bad. I remember one of their songs were in Guitar Hero, and I mean Buckethead played on it, and Buckethead's like one of the goats of just guitar soloists. So I don't know if the record is bad enough to feature it on a Train Records album. Well, I say it's nicotine because whenever people see something like this, they think, well, is there THC in it or whatever? I get asked that all the time whenever I'm touching grass outside of the computer space. A Nicolas Cage movie you should check out is Adaptation. I already have. It's a great movie. I really like Adaptation. And I love Being John Malkovich, which was kind of the progenitor to Adaptation. Actually, Being John Malkovich is up there with one of my favorite movies of all time. And Adaptation is a nice little like spiritual successor, I guess you would call it. But nope, definitely seen that one. It was directed by, I want to say Spike Jonze. Yeah, no, Adaptation's a great movie. JonTron is washed up. Yeah, I could see that. He needs to kind of like mix it up a little bit. It's getting kind of boring, personally. All right, I need to mix this chat up a little bit.
Probably seen my old cellular telephone. It's a little bit out of date, so I decided it's about time. So I got myself a new phone. Yeah, I guess it's a phone because it's also a camera. Yeah, how crazy is that? And you could talk to people by typing instead of using your voice. Wow, big advancement. And
Sorry I had to see that. But yeah, I just need to mix things up a little bit. Eternal Sunrise of Spotless Mind is a great movie. That's another one of my favorite movies of all time. Unfortunately, I watched some fucking stupid essay video recently, and apparently it's Ariana Grande and Mac Miller's favorite movie of all time too, and that makes me feel like maybe I don't want to like it that much anymore. But no, I still like it. That one's actually just directed by another one of my favorite music video directors, Michel Gondry did that one. Yeah, man, shit. No, I don't think any director could have pulled that one off like Michel Gondry. That crazy Inception-esque practical effects that he does all throughout that movie. He does that in all his music videos. He's done a lot of videos for the White Stripes. He did Around the World for Daft Punk, if you remember that one. He did Everlong by Foo Fighters. He directed that video. Nope, never seen John Carpenter's A Thing. The gimmick is so old with AVGN. Oh, me showing clips or just him in general? I mean, they're both old. Me showing the clips and him in general. So anyway. All right, guys. I think I might be cashed out. I started at 9. I think you got 2.5 hours out of me. So let's play one of James's bestiality joke for the horse video real quick.
He's hitting that road pretty hard, but that's okay, right? It's not the only thing he's going to be hitting hard.
That was funny. No, just kidding. Yeah, anyway. Thank you guys for hanging out for so long. Sorry if only like a fifth of this video had to actually do with James Rolfe, and the other like 4/5 of the video was me drinking, squirting, and vaping. I squirted a lot on this stream, but thanks for hanging out and sticking out and being out and coming out, and till next time, have a good rest of your night.